think about it, film grain was once just chemical randomness in celluloids. Now we apply filters to look like it on our Instagrams. The same goes for the warble of a vinyl record, or that typo you see in an old typewritten letter. These were accidents, limitations of their time, but over decades, they became shorthand for something real human touch. Authenticity was never just about truth. It was about texture. And when digital tools came along, they didn't replicate those textures. They weaponized them. But then came digital. Suddenly, we could generate all of that by accident or on purpose. Algorithms learn to fake film grain, simulate vinyl noise, and even create handwritten text. These tools didn't just replicate. They commodified authenticity. The more realistic the flaw, the easier it was to sell a moment as real when in fact it had been born in code. Back in the early days of MIDI sequencers, a producer could program perfect timing with a computer, but it still sounded dead. So engineers added humanize, sliders to randomly adjust note, start times and velocities. The goals: to trick us into thinking this wasn't a machine at work. What was once an artifact, like crackling vinyl or ink bleed on paper, became something we demanded be preserved. Now, we even pay for plugins that fake the wobble in a live vocal take. Here's the recursive trap. As systems become better at faking authenticity, we raise our expectations. We demand more organic textures in AI art, longer pauses between machine-generated sentences to mimic hesitation. Spoofing becomes a performance strategy, not just about deception, but about meeting and then outdoing our own criteria for what feels real. In this arms race, the line between human and machine isn't just blurred, it's actively rewritten.
Yeah, I mean, so I think for a lot of people, they haven't really been exposed to how quickly and how, better and better AI systems are getting. And he's not just talking about, AI potentially taking jobs, that sort of thing. I think we need to take a step back and think about the goal of these companies, which they claim is to build superintelligence. And this means AI systems that are smarter than all of humanity combined. And the problem is that the way that we build AI today, we don't actually understand how it works. It's more like building AI systems like growing AI systems than it is kind of like actually building them in a way that we understand. And so there's this kind of fundamental challenge of how do we control something that is much, much smarter than us?
Once we knew something was fake by its stiffness, uncanny faces, glitched grammar, or flat lightings. We now look for authenticity in flaws themselves. But as digital fakery becomes common knowledge, new tools are built to detect and then outwit it. This isn't just about recognizing AI, generated art, or bot speech. It's about learning how deception evolves by simulating trust. Just this week, a top AI researcher warned that the world is in peril, not from rogue machines, but from our inability to distinguish real intent from simulated trust. In response, detection algorithms are trained to look for signs of artificial creation, like watermarked brush strokes or unnatural word repetition. But spoofing catches up fast, some AI. Art now includes hand-made textures. Bots misspell words like a clumsy teen trying too hard to be cool.
You can tell it's AI generated because the edges are off, like the hands or faces don't quite line up. It's fast and creative, but still has trouble with basic geometry.
We once found authenticity in imperfection, grain in a photograph, a smudge on canvas. But now AI's flaws are not accidents, they're engineered cues. The kind of inconsistencies we used to call human. A six-fingered hand or a hallucinated fact becomes our new punctum, a wound that pierces us, making us question if it's signal or error. What was once accidental is now calculated, and in doing so, AI has inherited Barther's message without code, a reality of having been there, but not really at all. We used to mistake flaws for proof of life, but now we're training machines to wear them like badges. A blemish in one context becomes an aesthetic in another, a glitch turned logo. The line between error and intention is not only blurred, it's erased. What once signaled corruption has been rebranded as artistry or even authenticity itself. We no longer ask, how was this made? But does it feel real enough to matter? In time, we will train new machines not to avoid these errors, but to replicate them. The real won't just be mimicked. It'll be fossilized in its own artifacts. A loop of simulation without origin. We project meaning onto machine inconsistencies, the way Barther's projected truth onto photographs. Except now, both are lies dressed as authenticity. What was once noise will be code, and soon we'll wonder if anything was ever real at all.